amigos. um, Welcome to our pick a card. This is a pick a card inspired by the Day of the Dead, which is part of my culture because I am half Mexican. And this is just, we felt inspired to do this reading just to get messages from everybody's ancestors. And our theme here is Coco and the Book of Life. If you haven't seen those movies, we highly recommend. We have lots in store for you today. We have little oracles, as we always do. We have stickers. We have astro dice, cards. So we're ready to dive in and see what your ancestors have to say. And we hope you're ready to hear the messages.
Woo! We're super excited. So each of these piles has a quote from one of the movies on them. And Laina's going to hold them up so that you can see what those are to kind of get a gauge for which pile you feel drawn to. Of course, you can always pick more than one, but you know.
Yes. Okay, so before we get into it, I will hold up and let you see each pile and the little quote. So for pile 1, we have, "The rest of the world may follow the rules, but I must follow my heart." This is a quote from Coco. For pile 2, we have, "Write your own story," from the Book of Life. For pile 3, we have, "Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please other people," from Coco. Oh, deep quote, man. And for pile 4, "With all my heart, I will never stop loving you," from the Book of Life. That's very soft.
It's super soft.
And I wanted to point out before we start that I think, even though, yes, it's a Mexican cultural thing, I know that I think I can speak for most people that we love when people get involved in our culture. So if you want to celebrate your ancestors, the Day of the Dead is on November 2nd. So you can keep that in mind and, you know, light a candle or say a prayer to your ancestors, whatever you want. Maybe just talk to them that day if you feel called to. And that is it. So pick your pile and let's get into the reading.
Woo!
Hi, pile 1. Okay, so here we have your pile topper. You chose "The rest of the world may follow the rules, but I must follow my heart," by Coco, from Coco. So I'm gonna put that, okay, if it lets me. Sure, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start with your oracles here. And actually, you know what I'm going to start with? I'm going to start with your astro dice. So while I shuffle, Bekah will give you some insight what your ancestors have in store for you with the astro dice.
Yes.
So we have the 8th house, Pisces, and
Uranus.
Uranus. So there you guys go.
Yes, so that's some interesting energy we have going on right here. So the 8th house is actually the house of Scorpio, naturally. So the 8th house is all about like death and rebirth, endings and beginnings. It's about taxes, sex, basically anything that society considers taboo is in the 8th house, but mostly about transformation, is the vibe I'm getting. Now, Pisces is the 12th house traditionally, but it also kind of has a similar vibe to Scorpio. So when you think about Pisces, yes, they're both water, but in the sense that I mean Pisces with the 12th house being where it rules is all about your intuition, about hidden things, about basically addictions. It's also about like your creative abilities in certain ways, but it's mostly about depth when it comes to that, because obviously the 5th house is more about creativity. But the 12th house can show you like if you're, you know, how do you heal, basically? How do you pull up the stuff that's in the inner depths? And then you have Uranus, which is all about change, because Uranus traditionally rules over Aquarius. So when you have Uranus in the mix, basically right now we're going through Saturn and Aquarius right now, which means there's a lot of things happening in society and change overall. But I think personally for this group, with this 8th house Pisces and Uranus, what this is saying is you're going to be going through a lot of changes and a lot of transformations, a lot of rebirths, a I think basically what your ancestors are trying to tell you is like, you're going through this phase right now of transforming the way that you view things like friendship, social circles, your values as far as like society goes, how you interact with other people. But you're also through that transformation learning way more about yourself, about what you believe in, about what you have faith in, and you're kind of solidifying that for yourself. So you're kind of finding your own way and finding a way to be unique, and doing that through this transformation in a couple of different houses, but mostly within like your social circles, which I find kind of fascinating. But basically, it's just about tapping into the hidden depths and allowing yourself to feel your emotions so that they can come up, and you can look at them with new eyes and in a new energy.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay, and while I finish up here, I will give Bekah some reading on these so she can chime in here. But we have Release, Chameleon with Soul Tribe, It Is Safe to Be Seen. You have Persistence, Wolverine, number 26, The Taming Power of the Great. Tenacity, Fierce Willpower. And Defeatist, Exploitative, and Berserk with Dances on One Foot, Balancing Act, Beloved, Radical Acceptance. And then we have Your Thoughts. That's Elevate Your Energy. And it says, your thoughts are vibrations that attract positive or negative energy. Notice your current emotional state. Clear any negativity through conversation, movement, breath work, prayer, meditation, and so on. Then guide your thoughts back to love and abundant possibilities. When you elevate your energy, you attract abundance, health, and prosperity into your life.
So before I even get into these, I want to read the messages that came through while Laina was talking. So before we started, I got the song I'm a Mess by Ed Sheeran that came through, but specifically the part about like wanting to like be with their person. Like he's talking about how he wants to be in love for that night and like had like see the flames inside your eyes. So like that came through first. Then 100 Years by Five for Fighting came through. And then Laina had 7 Years by Lucas Graham stuck in her head. So for this pile, just with those alone, and I have other messages, but just with those songs alone, what that tells me about is not only is there a yearning for connection, but there may be some worry in this group about age and about growing up and about looking back on the past and maybe being like, wow, like, oh, I'm getting older and like things are kind of changing and all of this is happening. And I think your guides and your ancestors are very much trying to tell you that, you know, these things are coming up and you're seeing them in this way so that you can heal the past and that you can break free from it. And this change is something that's good. And it's not something that's bad. Like, it's not something that you need to look back on and be like, oh gosh, like I wish I would have done things differently. I think your ancestors are trying to tell you like, no, everything that's led up to this point has been for a reason. And then as far as like I know that we'll get more into this as we go along, but I'm feeling very strongly for this group. There's a lot about connection, a lot about finding new social circles, finding new friends, finding your soul tribe, because we had that chameleon come out. You also have Beloved that came out too. So for me, I also got some stuff about that as well. As far as like potentially maybe a soulmate coming in or a love interest or something like that, but especially like good friends and soul tribe. Now, the other things I picked up on was a lake, water, bridges, wind. So I think for this group, we've already gotten Aquarius, Pisces, and Scorpio. So that's water and air energy. And so this group, I feel, has a lot of water and air energy. So if any of those are your signs, that could be confirmation for you. It doesn't have to be. I also got Find Your Peace, and then hoodies, sweater weather, and a scarf. It's like striped scarf, and it has like yellow and orange and green. I don't know if that matters to anybody. I don't know if those are your favorite colors, but that came through too. But those are the channeled messages. And then as far as the cards go, I think they back that up pretty well as far as you know, life is a balancing act right now because you're going through this change and you're kind of having to balance the old and the new together while you go through this. And I think Spirit's trying to encourage you to find a place that you feel at peace, potentially somewhere near water, so that you can kind of release the past and move forward. And while you're doing that, new people are going to come in and help you. So I feel like not only are your guides and ancestors helping you, but there's going to be people like in the physical 3D that you're meeting that are here to help you through this time period in your life.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just gonna adjust the camera just a little bit because it's bothering me. Okay, sorry guys. So yes, I agree 100% with all those messages. I find it funny that Bekah was picking up on wind because you can see the wind blowing in this photo here about release, and then you also got the card about clouds. So wind might be a really strong like element that you connect to, potentially air. So I know there's different types of spiritual gifts that have to do with like air and things like that. So, you know, there might be one that you get to connect to or with that'll really help you. Oh my gosh, this is bothering me again. I'm sorry. There. I don't have one of those overhead stands, so I kind of have to fiddle with it on my desk. So I'm sorry. It doesn't get to like do the overhead. I have to tilt. Anyway, sorry. But what I get from you guys with this is that there's a lot of big shifts coming, and you've been releasing a lot of the past, and your ancestors have really been helping you with that. And because of that, like you might kind of feel like you're like, I'm seeing someone on like tightrope walkers where they walk and like you're balancing yourself really carefully because you don't want to fall. And spirits, you know, like, and of course, like there's a net underneath them, right? So they're not going to get hurt, but we forget that. So like, I almost feel like spirit saying like, don't worry, because if you do fall, we'll catch you, but also like, trust us that we're going to get you across safely. So, but they want you to know that there's both, you know what I mean? So like, if something happens and you do slip or whatever, you're going to be caught. You're not going to be left for granted. Your ancestors are not going to do that to you, but also they want you to trust that they're going to help you get across that rope. They're going to give you that endurance, and they really want you to like accept yourself, because you have this like beautiful, you know, tenacious, fierce personality and this amazing willpower. And I think you have the ability to make all of these wonderful things that you want to happen. But I sense a little bit of fear, and that's why they were talking about like monitoring your thoughts and like, you know, releasing and letting go of the past, and knowing that like no matter what rain clouds come into your life, excuse me, you guys might be working on your throat chakra. I'm so sorry. Whatever rain clouds might come into your life, trust that they can be cleared. Because what I really noticed about this little card here is how there are all these clouds, but like this little house is here on its own and it's still standing. So it makes me think that like no matter whatever storm, this like little house, this foundation stands the test of time. And you can trust that your ancestors have started to help you build this foundation that is actually really good and solid for you. Mm-hmm. So
yes,
with that, we'll move on to tarot, and then we'll do our special oracles. And if Bekah has any more channeled messages, we will do those. And then your stickers. So that's very exciting.
and while she does that, I did have a couple more things that popped through. Your guides really, your ancestors and guides, I should say, really like to talk through music. So music might be really important to you. The song Vibes by Zayn came through, Tightrope from The Greatest Showman. You have the symbolism of butterflies, which again, that goes back to transformation. Mirrors came through, handprints, and then children laughing. Water park came through. So like, it was kind of like a street where like sprinklers are in the street and like kids are running through them. And I know it's fall time, but I don't know if that has significance to somebody. But that came through pretty strong. And then there was another song, but it left. Maybe it'll come back.
Yes. And just right here with your first tarot card, yeah, I can see that you guys have been like in a hermit mode and kind of preparing. But what's nice about that is that you're going to have your intuition that's going to help you make all these great choices. And your intuition, I can see here that those ancestors are right there in that water that Bekah was talking about. Just this deck is huge, if you can't tell. So I had a little bit of trouble shuffling it. So thank you for being patient. There we go. Okay. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. And the bottom of the deck is the 7 of Wands. Okay. So let's see. I'll put it here. You can kind of see it there. There we go. Okay. So with your tarot, really what I'm getting is that your ancestors are really talking about, I think here in their past, you come from people, to me, that have, been left out in the cold quite a lot, that have been kind of defensive and, had so much taken from them. And they're saying that for you, they don't want that pattern to repeat. Because I noticed the stark difference in the color of the cards here. You can see these are more red and purple and a little bit like they feel heavier in energy to me, whereas these are a little bit brighter. You can see the Hermit is shining light. There's a lot of light here. There's a lot of light in the choices. And so for me, your ancestors are saying, like, this is their past and you've been shedding and releasing all of this karma, and they're really grateful for that. And because you've been doing that and you've gone inward and you've done the inner work and you've changed and you've helped yourself grow and, transpired the odds, like, they're going to come through with you using that intuition, using that foresight, so that you can make, like, the right choices for yourself and, like, find better. So I want to, King of Wands, so that you can actually stand in the power of your ancestors and, like, instead of being in these darker energies that they have, see how the yellow has joined the darker energies, like, and there's kind of been like a harmonious bond that kind of came forth. So I love that for you guys.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You guys, even more stuff has come through. So basically, celebration came through. So I think one thing to focus on for you guys is that your guides and ancestors want you to know that you should celebrate the successes you have right now, because you have a lot of them. And that there's almost like this tendency sometimes to not celebrate things until you feel like you've, like, finished them. But a lot of things in life don't have, like, a finish point. And I think your guides are saying that something that's going to help you get through this time of your life, through all these changes, is to celebrate all of your wins, not just like the ones that seem like huge milestones, but like the little things too. That came through pretty strong. Caves, the Mayans, so you might have some Mayan ancestors. Prehistoric times came through, so that's like cavemen. Like, again, caves came through really strong. You also had the Hermit come out, which I found really interesting. But that might be something to look into if you've never looked into your ancestry, maybe seeing about that. Another thing that came through was The Great Gatsby. So if you like that book / that movie, that came through. That could also be a nod at a time period that was important for your ancestors, which was back in the 40s, 50s, 40s. It's whenever the flapper era.
That was the 20s.
20s. I'm way behind, like, I'm way further in the future. It's fine.
Yeah, 50s were the poodle skirts.
That's right. So anywhere between like 1920 to like 1940, I think, is what they're kind of highlighting in there. But The Great Gatsby, if you've never seen it, that could be something that's important to you. You could find some messages in there. The song, there's a song that Laina Del Rey, Laina Del Rey. I can't say her name right. Thank you.
Lana.
She sings a song, and the phrase "heaven is a place on earth with you" keeps coming through. Like, just that line, like, over and over again. But again, I feel like that's kind of nodding to potentially there might be someone coming in. But also, again, to celebrate the here and now and the things that are happening right now, and to be in the moment and know that you have a lot of good things around you right now, and it's okay to celebrate them and to be happy about them, because I think your ancestors are trying to get you to see that, like, you know, don't focus so much all the time on what's coming in the future or what's next. Focus on what's here now too. Like, obviously it's a good thing to always have goals, but I think they also want you to know that, like, you can slow down in the moment and be happy with what's here right now and appreciate it and live life, so that in the future, in like 10 years, you don't look at this time and go, wow, that just flew by and I don't remember much of it because I didn't really spend time celebrating it. I was just kind of looking towards the next goal. Like, I think Spirit's saying, like, you know, it's okay to slow down and to enjoy the moment right now, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously we know life is always changing, and this group specifically got a lot about change. So just kind of go with the flow and celebrate what's here right now.
Yes, I heard two things. I heard one, that there's a grandfather ancestor that really wants to connect with you. So if that is something you're interested in, please don't feel pressured. If it doesn't feel right for you, always trust your intuition. One little thing that I've heard people say about ancestors, I've never had this issue myself, but I know there are some people who have ancestors that they've said have come off kind of really pushy and pushing them in a direction they don't want to go in. So make sure that your ancestors, that when you ask for them, that you're asking for people who only have your highest and greatest good in mind. That's always important. And second, you had like I said, so the grandfather that really wants to speak with you. So if that feels good, maybe try reaching out. You can use tarot. Private readings might work to help with that. You can just try and meditate, see what comes through. And then the second thing that came through is I heard, because you got so much about change and things, I heard to enjoy your single life right now. So like, I think there's, like, Bekah keeps picking up on someone coming in, and I think that that's very true. And so I think what they're saying is, like, enjoy this time of, like, just being you by yourself. You can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want, because that's, if you meet your person, that's going to be over and you become a unit. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful. But there's also nothing wrong with being single. And I'm not, you know, if it's something that makes you feel good to go out and, like, have lots of dates, then do that. But that's not what I mean when I say enjoy your singlehood. I mean, like, enjoy the freedom of, you can roll out of bed and, you know, go to the store and not have to tell anyone where you're going right now. You can go here, go there. You can travel on the dime. You don't have anyone else to worry about. And really, they're saying that they want you to enjoy this time, because for you, it is coming to an end, and that's a beautiful thing. And it's kind of like what Bekah said, they don't want you to look back on this and be like, oh man, like, I missed so much of that time because I didn't stop to enjoy it before everything changed. Because everything is going to change, which now I'm hearing Everything Has Changed by Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. But it'll be, you know, a really beautiful change. But there is something about this time in your life that you should really stop and enjoy, because it's going to be very different from what you used to know.
I just got somebody you used to know stuck in my head.
I heard it too. Oh. All right, guys. So that is your tarot. So I'm going to, I shuffled these out already. These are messages from the heavens communication cards. So these are direct messages from your ancestors. I will put these down, and then I will shuffle our little oracles and do the stickers. So here we have number 44. We will assist you in helping important people in your we will assist you in helping the important people in your life use love. And look at that, 2 giraffes with their necks crossed. And we have listen to your inner voice as we try to guide you. Use your intuition, number 21. And then we have continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We applaud your efforts, number 43.
A couple of double numbers have come out. So like we've seen 44. I know 2 came out earlier. I've seen a lot of 2s actually. Also the numbers 3, 26, 21, 43, and 7 have all been important, and I'm being told to point the numbers out. So
Yes.
I am.
Yes, I think also one of your cards was number 9, if I remember correctly. No, just one more. Not the whole deck. So just so you know, your ancestors want to talk to you quite a bit.
Okay. Yes. Throat chakra and heart chakra have been highlighted for those of you that know about energy healing. If you don't, basically looking up information on chakras and like energy healing, maybe meditation techniques that have to do with the chakras might be good for you. We have a whole chakra series. I'm just saying, maybe you should check that out. It's pretty great. But the throat chakra, which is all about communication and speaking your truth, is really important for you. And then your heart chakra, which obviously if you have someone coming in, this makes sense. But your heart chakra is coming up. I've seen a lot of green in your cards, which is all about like your heart chakra, your centered area. So that's going to be all about like love, compassion. It's about kind of speaking kindly to yourself and to others, just operating from a place of love, basically. But green also talks about growth. And again, that just goes right back to change, if you ask me.
Big time. Okay. So I have here Toro, I am humble. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to tilt the camera. Toro, I am humble for tonight. I understand. Your royal blood was never meant to decorate the sand. You suffered great injustice, so have thousands before you. I offer an apology and one long overdue. I am sorry, hear my song, and know I sing the truth. Although you were bred to fight, I reach for kindness in your heart tonight. And if you can forgive, love can truly live. The apology song from the Book of Life. It's funny because I had a feeling this song was going to come out. So maybe for some of you, you had a rocky relationship with your grandfather that I've been talking about, or any ancestor, and they want to apologize. So for some of you, that might be that. For others of you, it's because you've cleared so much family karma. They want to apologize that you were the one that's basically had to pick up the debris of the leftovers of what happened, and that that's why they're helping you so much, because they're like, hey, you cleared our family karma and you're clearing our name, making us and because of that, like, we're sorry, but we're also going to help you. And then I love this song in Coco, by the way. So it says, what color is the sky? Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. You tell me that it's red. Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. Where should I put my shoes? Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. You said, put them on your head. Ay mi amor, ay mi amor. You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing, I'm nodding and I'm yesing. I'll count it as a blessing that I'm only un poco loco. The loco that you make me, it's just un poco crazy. The sense that you're not making, the liberties you're taking, leaves my cabeza shaking. You're just un poco loco. So this song is so cute. Just a little bit crazy, but it's in a good way. Like, it means that this person's gonna make your heart stir, that they're they might even be a little different than you're expecting with this song coming out. Like, so they might not be what you ever expected or who you ever expected to fall for, because like it talks about like the sense that you're not making and the liberties you're taking, but this person's gonna stir your heart in a really beautiful way. Like, they're gonna make you see things different. Like, if you look at the lyrics, talk about like she says that the sky is red and she tells him to put his shoes on his head instead of his feet. So like, she's a little bit eccentric, but it's really beautiful, and like, he's like, this makes me crazy, like, I don't understand this, but like, I love her. And that's kind of the or in the movie I was like, but it can be any gender, any person. So just to know that like, that's something.
And for some of you, that it might even be that you're not somebody that generally thinks about love. Like, you might be someone who, like, yeah, you've kind of always had it on the back burner, but it's not really ever been a focus for you. And you're just like, oh, I'm not expecting a partner. Like, I don't know. I'm not really looking for it. Like, and honestly, that's a great energy to be in, because usually that's the energy that brings in the person that you're ending up with. So I think it's very funny because I think for some of the people that pick this pile, you're not really necessarily looking for that. But I think it's coming for you, and it's going to be kind of out of nowhere. And I think it's going to be one of those things where you like see this person and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, like what's happening to me? Because I never really thought that this would happen, or like I wasn't really expecting, to feel romantic feelings for anybody at this point in my life right now. Like I'm kind of picking up that vibe too.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, so you're gonna laugh because I opened these off camera so that I could hold them up here. But you got career milestone, green as one of the signs, pears, wine, silver cars, 1111, jazz, cats, piano, raccoons, and long drives. And then you also got soul family, which is hilarious. Red ribbon, orange, candy canes, cotton candy, caramel corn, hay rides, yellow cars, and birds. Oops, sorry.
Nice.
So some symbolism that Bekah picked up on, which I wrote these without her a while ago.
Yeah,
So,
I have no idea.
I love the synchronicity. Yeah, she doesn't know what's on any of these cards at all that I wrote out. So that makes me happy, like when there's some confirmation like that. So that's really cute and exciting. I'm going to trying to take the card with it. Clear these out of the way. And then we'll do your stickers.
My favorite part.
Oh, yes. Did you? Sorry, I didn't ask if you had any more channel messages that came through.
No.
Okay.
They wanted to focus a lot on those last animal cards, so they didn't really talk to me during that.
That's fair. Understandable. Okay, so that's the first one that came out for you guys. Love is love. So we have your little stickers in here. It's fun being bad. Believe in yourself. I don't know why, but now I'm hearing he put the lime in the coconut. Oh, look at that. I love confirmation. The High Priestess.
The High Priestess.
That's twice that came out.
Cute. Whatever this relationship is that's coming in, like if it's romantic or otherwise, like it's gonna be a friendship first, regardless. Like it's gonna be one where even if it's like not romantic right away, it's gonna be a relationship that's very, very, very deep. For some of you, it's definitely gonna be a romantic relationship, but for others, it's gonna be like a best friend, like that you've always wanted, basically. Like you've always wanted this connection and you've never had it, and now it's coming in.
Yes, big time. And this is definitely super romantic here. Like you have them, they're playful too, like the little shopping cart, and like they're definitely friends as well. Like you're gonna have some great friends that come in, and like this person is specifically, which is really cute. Which I also drew these stickers at a different time. So they're not, I love, like I said, that there's a lot of confirmation. So there's a potential for this to be someone from far away, because the sticker always makes me think of long distance. You guys might eat some takeout together. There's a dragon here. So some of you might be born in the year of the dragon.
Or, you really, really like Chinese food, or that could be a hint as to like where you are or where your person is.
Exactly.
If you're maybe in Asia somewhere.
Cute.
Funny.
This one definitely gives me like buddies more than like romantic from this one. So you, like Bekah was saying, you might have, for some of you might have like a really great best friend that comes in. This is Lafayette from Hamilton, and he was from France, so that could be another hint for some of you guys. Could be someone who's French. It could be, Paris is somewhere you guys go together. You might be on a trip to Paris and meet this person. Lafayette was also a free thinker, and so that could be something as well. Like that could be the type of person you're attracting, or that could be your personality. So we have Sunday, so that could be an important day. And then last but not least, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say Sunday Morning by Maroon 5 just popped into my head.
That song was in my head all afternoon, so that's funny. I love that song though. Okay, so last but not least, I shuffled out these first for all the piles, the 3 months of the year from these little stickers that I have. So these are 3 months of the year that could be important to you, or, you know, for these manifestations potentially: March, April, and August. Mm-hmm. So there you go. This is so cute. So that is literally everything. I am bursting with excitement for you guys. There are lots of great messages, tons of confirmation about the reading. So yeah, I really hope you guys liked that one. First, I want to say that we thank your ancestors and our ancestors and your guides and our guides for coming in and giving us these beautiful messages and letting us read for you. It's such an honor every time. We always have so much fun. And you can find us on all social medias. And I think that is it. So we will see you guys next time.
Yes. And remember, if you are drawn to more than one pile, then that's totally okay. You can pick more than one pile. So if you were drawn to any of the other ones, let us know, like, comment, hit subscribe. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video.
Adios, amigos. Hello, group 2. Okay, so we have here, or group dos, we have here your pile topper, what you chose, which you have write your own story from the book of life. So this is already, to me, a very creative group. And so we have a lot for you today. Ooh, excuse me. We're going to be doing astro dice. We have some stickers that have been put in here for you guys. We have lots of cards. Bekah will be doing channeled messages throughout. She is using some fire magic to do so, which is really neat. And we also have our handwritten oracles. And yeah, so we're super excited and ready to get into it. So while I do my live shuffling, I'm going to toss these astro dice so Bekah can let you kind of know what your ancestors are here for, what they're going to be talking about, and then we will get into the reading. Okay, Mercury, Libra, and first house.
Ooh, interesting.
That's Mercury.
Okay. Yes, that's Mercury.
Okay.
So this is very, very cool because with the first house, that's usually where your ascendant resides. That's usually where you're basically who you are resides. And then you have Mercury, which is all about communication. Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo. So if you have Gemini or Virgo in your chart, then that could be for you, as well as Libra. And then the first house is traditionally ruled by Aries. Now, of course, it's different for everybody depending on your birth date, time, and location. So just keep that in mind. So whatever your ascendant is could be really, really important. But I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like I have to sneeze. So excuse me. I
Have
feel
you
like
ever
for
seen
a
a
lot
white
of you,
horse?
a white horse, yes. Oh, for a lot of you, you're going to be communicating on a very deep level about yourself with people that you care about. There's a lot about communication about your feelings, and in the sense of like, what do you feel about like long-term commitments? What do you feel about anything that has to do with Libra, which is usually like partnerships, long-term commitments. It can also deal with beauty, aesthetics, legal matters can be a thing that Libra has as well. But for most of you, it's going to be communicating about your feelings and learning about how you view like partnerships. You might be going through changes in that part of your life. And then the other thing about that is some of you are being asked to communicate to yourself with love more. So a lot of you are learning how to do things like positive affirmations, how to talk to your inner child with like love and respect, how to work with your inner family, how to heal things through, you know, being more loving and caring towards yourself as well as other people. And then also allowing other people in and forming those long-term like friendships, partnerships, and commitments with people that maybe you never have in the past. For some of you, this could be that like somebody is getting to a deeper level with you and getting to know you. That could potentially be a romantic partner. For some of you, this could just be, you know, you're coming into a place where you're going to have a lot more partnerships. Some of you, it's business partnerships. Some of you, it's like best friends that you know, you are just starting to like get to the very depths of and like learn about yourself and them because you're exploring together. So it's very, very possible. There's a few different options, but for most of you, it's about communicating your feelings and your needs and what you want with partnerships with one specific person and really learning about yourself in the process. And then I also have some channeled messages already, and I'll do these throughout as we go. I don't know, your ancestors, I feel like there's a few different ones here, which is why I'm getting such wildly different like song choices here. But I got The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars, which for me is about like letting go of like past hurts and wounds and things like that. But then immediately after that, I got the song Singing in the Rain that came through, which is a very happy song. And then I got Clean by Taylor Swift. So I feel like there's a lot of cleansing going on and a lot of letting go of things that don't serve you, a lot of letting go of like those old hurts and wounds. And I think that's why you're kind of going through this renovation, I'll say, of how you view commitments and long-term relationships and, you know, potentially even like marriage and things like that. Maybe you've never considered that before, but because you're doing this healing, you're starting to think maybe this is something that I want. I feel like there's a very strong water energy with this group. Remains of the Day from Princess and the Frog came out, which I thought was hilarious because that's also a Day of the Dead reference. I don't know if you've ever watched Princess and the Frog. It's a great musical. You should go watch it and or read the story. And then Hiking the Rainforest, the Regular Forest, and then Biology, specifically the mitochondria, like cell level biology, like even like plant biology. So I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe that's something that you do, maybe that's something you're interested in, maybe you're thinking about starting a new career that you want to do that, and I have no idea, but that's coming through. And it could even be that like your cellular level is changing, so like everything that you thought you wanted or that you didn't want is changing at a very, very deep level, and it's kind of like making everything feel like it's completely new, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I really, really, really love this group. I just think there's so many like different little synchronicities already, and that's really cool. So what Bekah was talking about, look at this purification. Like this totally gives me that clean Taylor Swift vibe that she was picking up on. She also talked to you about trust, and we have Deer with trust, approach the situation with a light heart. You also have here the Magic Raven, 47, oppression, alchemy, shift to begin, transfigure, and then premature, impatient, absolutist. So for me, I forgot to mention this in the last group, but with these cards, because there's a duality, the underside is what I think you guys have been overcoming, and then like, but these are also your strengths too. So that's really, really cool. You have cross, which gives me like Saturn vibes, church on a hill. You have the stork, so like some new blessings incoming. And then you also have the coffin, which Bekah had that song about the remains, and you know, we're talking about the Day of the Dead as well. This is rebirth. And then we have the divine matrix, so I think you are breaking out of the matrix, the galactic mushroom. And then you have here believe, which very magical looking card if you ask me. And it says, there's magic all around you. Open up to the wonders of the universe. Notice the connections and synchronicities. Follow your feelings and believe with all your heart. We successfully manifest our dreams when our feelings are in alignment with our plans. From that sacred union, the right ideas take shape. The best relationships blossom. and the stuff that's meant to be easily falls into place. Everything is possible. So look, Bekah was already talking about a relationship, and this card mentions it already. And then you have the stork. So for some of you, there could be a baby incoming with that, which is really beautiful. So if you already have your person, this could be talking about how the next step would be growing your family. For me, this group is really, clearing everything out. They're writing their own story now. They're not following they're not basically bearing crosses anymore that are not their own. They're kind of burying that, purifying, letting everything kind of go. I feel a little bit like out of breath. So I feel like this group has been very like, go, 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 go. You've been doing a lot. And right now I think Spirit kind of wants you to slow down just a little bit and just kind of like enjoy a lot of what you do have, and to believe in the magic, and don't think that like they want you to work smarter, not harder, if that makes sense. That's definitely the vibe that I get. And kind of like when Bekah was talking about, speaking kinder to yourself, you might be really hard on yourself for all the things you've gone through. And like if you have gone through I think on this card it talked about, yes, oppression, like some forms of oppression. Like you might be really hard on yourself about these things, or the things that like you haven't been able to get done. And what I'm really getting is to like trust the magic, trust the process, let yourself purify and clear these things out, because I'm seeing like things being torn up by the roots, and so that new crops have been planted, and now like the water is coming and raising it up, and like everything is growing really beautifully. But you have to kind of like believe that it's growing. I love that thing where they talk about how like when a plant is growing, you don't go and dig it up every day to see if there's been any progress. You leave it alone. And that's kind of like what I get here, is that like you guys want like these beautiful plants to blossom so badly, because you want things to move, and like you're really hard on yourself if you don't see like a little like growth. You're like, there's no growth, I must be failing, and I'm really getting the sense of like Spirit's like, just trust in the magic, trust us that things are growing, believe that everything that you want is possible, believe that like we're helping you, your ancestors are helping you clear out, break out of this matrix, break out of the old patterns that have been holding you back.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. You have a lot. Your guides are very chatty when it comes to other messages, as far as like channeled messages. One thing, I pointed this out in pile 1, they want me to do it in this pile 2. Numbers 47, 11, 24, and 6 have all popped out, and then I know there's a couple of other ones that have popped out as well, but those ones specifically, 11 and 6 may be very, very important numbers to you. Christmas time, the Polar Express, that song Believe by Josh Groban just keeps like getting louder and louder in my head. So just thought I'd let you know. Panda, Deer, DNA by BTS, Sam Smith. They didn't give me a specific song, so if you really like Sam Smith's music, that might be for you. Stained Glass, Piano, Leaves Crunching, like the sound of leaves crunching. The Paper Kites, they didn't give me a specific song for them either. And then so far they've given me Nature, but mostly like it's kind of interesting because what they're giving me is this like image of basically like as if I'm in the person's body, and like I'm in the middle of a forest in the middle of fall, and like there's leaves and twigs everywhere, but like it's very, very quiet and peaceful, and it's almost like you're like hiking through a forest, but it's like just almost like a meditative experience. So if you're somebody that lives near like a forest, or if you live near like nature somewhere, I think your ancestors and guides are trying to encourage you to like get out more and maybe take some walks while the weather is still decent. If you live obviously where the weather's always decent, then just taking walks in general would be good for you. But I know for like instance for me where I live, it gets cold in the winter time, and it's not really great to be outside during that. So while it's autumn time, while we're currently filming this, I think there's a lot about your ancestors wanting you to get outside, get some fresh air, go somewhere near like a pond or a river, lake, a stream, an ocean, water somewhere. But also make sure that you have ground beneath your feet and just kind of enjoy the moment and disconnect. That's a big thing for this group, is while you're going through a lot of deaths and rebirths, like especially if you're learning who you are, you have to spend time with yourself. And one of the best ways to do that is to get out and to get out of your head and away from like your normal environment into one where you can kind of freely think and just kind of exist for a little while.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You guys already have some really beautiful tarot cards here. We have the Four of Swords, which Bekah was talking about, that meditative and resting experience. Oh, okay, all right. I'll take both of these. And then let's see if you can see. Yes, you can. Okay. Wow, you guys have a extremely great spread here. So your bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords, but I've kind of been taking the bottom of the deck as like past, like your ancestors and like kind of like their past. And so for me, with your ancestors, a lot of the karma that you cleared with the Five of Swords, we tend to see like this is about people in a conflict, and it tends to be like, see how he's won all the money and everyone else is, it's like you've won the battle but you've lost the war. And so for me, like with this person taking like their coin and leaving, I could see that maybe there was in the past, like I was getting a lot about walking away. So there might have been like a lot of fear, because we have a lot here to me about relationships. And there might have been fear, and you might have seen a lot of failed love stories in your lineage. And so you might even be afraid of love for some of you. And, you know, like it might be ancestral trauma, you know, people that have had bad relationships and they've decided like, it's better, and even with their friends, it's better for me to be on my own than to be with other people. That's kind of the vibe that I get, like that I need to leave this because I need to leave before I get left kind of mentality. And that's kind of the vibe that I pick up from your ancestors and like how they did things. With this little baby school here, I almost feel like for some people, you could have some ancestors who like walked out on their family, you know, and that was really hard on you, and you know, like it's made you afraid to have a family or to like take the next step forward. That's coming through really, really strongly. So if you have gone through that, I'm very sorry. I know that's very difficult. But what's really beautiful about all of this, getting away from that, is that like your ancestors are saying you put in the work. So now like you're kind of resting. And with the page here, you know, you're starting over. You've been learning about, you know, like your creativity, magic, like this spiritual gifts, like you've been growing that. You can see the baby rocking horse, so I almost get like, and the mother, I get that like vibe of like you've been nurturing your inner child, you've been growing, and that's leading you to this beautiful Two of Cups, which is not only like the union within yourself, but a union with another person. And so for some of you, like this is a divine masculine coming in, but for some of you, you are this divine masculine attracting that partner. And you can see, I love this, he has a little star on his belt. And then you've got the star card. So for me, this is about like light and having hope and joy. And, you know, this could be your counterpart, right? Like either way, whichever gender you are, like this could be you, or this could be your counterpart. And you guys are coming together and, you know, going to be, and gender doesn't matter. It's just energy. Finding that, you know, like divine union within each other, and something is going to grow here and blossom, which is just, you know, gorgeous energy. So your ancestors are really just saying like you've done a lot of the healing work, and like it's time for you to have hope and take a chance. I'm hearing the Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. So
yes, definitely there's a lot of energy around resting and a lot of energy around very much like filling your cup, but I still feel pretty strongly that a lot of it is finding out who you are and what you want. So with that Emperor and with the star, like definitely Emperor for me like just signifies like you're balancing things out with the Two of Cups, and not only are you doing that, but in balancing things out, because you had that Libra, which is all about balance and long-term commitment, in balancing those things out internally, that's going to reflect outward externally. So as you do like healing work, it tends to reflect in the environment around you. So basically, as you balance things out inwardly, it'll balance things out outwardly. And that's why you're going to be sitting in that Emperor energy. But in order to do that, you have to allow yourself to rest. That's something that I feel very strongly for this group. Like, you have to make sure that you're balancing that as well, as far as like you're resting with your working. And you can kind of tell with the cards, like that's pretty obvious because you have like half of them that have like the like bold colors, and then the half that have the really cool colors. And I think the star is kind of like both. So I think, you know, it's about having hope and knowing that while this energy may be kind of flip-floppy, like back and forth right now, it's because you're balancing these things out, and you're going to be sitting in that emperor energy regardless of what gender you are. You also got a lot about your channeled messages that came through. A lot of them were about like the Wild West and the gold rush era, and like in the US. So like, you know, southwest to like not eastern, southwest, western USA, Midwest, around there. There's some stuff about ancestry with that. So if you've, I know that's obviously not for all of you, but there's something about like you have ancestors, or you have someone that's here that's making themselves known that was involved in that somehow, and is trying to kind of give you confirmation that they're here. Obviously that's not for everybody, so just take that with a grain of salt. The song Gold Rush by Taylor Swift
Same.
also came up.
Same.
Italy came up, so you might have family from Italy. Traveler came up, so basically for some of you, you have some ancestors that did a lot of traveling, and I think that might be something that you have a passion for yourself, for some of you. So just keep that in mind, that that might be something that runs in the family, and there might be something you can look at to see, like, do you have family that traveled a lot, and kind of like what was their life like? And I think you might learn a lot from them. But also, like, you might have a tendency to not be able to sit still for very long. And with all this stuff about a counterpart, for a lot of you, if that's your energy, like you're somebody that needs to be on the go constantly, your partner is going to match that. So for a lot of you, like, you're finding out, like, I do want a partner, which I never thought I did, because I've always been this like on the go busy person. But like now I'm finding out that I want both of these things. Like, your ancestors are saying like you can have both of those things, because you'll find somebody that's able to match you with that. That's kind of what they're saying. New page, and then rocking chair, because I saw the rocking horse, I know that that's part of it. I don't know why, but like a rocking chair, like you sitting in a rocking chair came up, which of course could then go back to the Four of Swords, like resting energy. But again, in order to find yourself, you have to be able to sit with yourself for a while. So for those of you that do have a really restless spirit, make sure that you take that time out to allow yourself to sit with your feelings, and to like kind of breathe through, and just have some rest from everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. And then going back to Gold Rush, I want to point out that that song is actually about like Taylor talking about her how she doesn't like uncertainty, and like she talks about like I don't like the gold rush, like I don't like anticipating my face in a red flush, I don't like that falling feels like flying till it's bone crush, you know. And she's talking about basically like this person, like everybody wants you, you know, like, so in other words, she's afraid of like falling. And you know, I know some other lyrics of that song are like, wouldn't it be nice to grow up that beautiful, like with your hair falling into place like dominoes. And like, she just, that whole song is exactly what I was talking about with the tarot, like that fear of like, and walking away from that person that could actually make you really happy, or like not thinking you could have it all, not thinking that I can have a person that loves to travel or go or do things as much as I do, and basically stopping yourself from ever having that love in that partnership. And so like that song feels really important. So if you've never listened to it, I suggest you do, because I think it would help like make you feel heard. But then you can also know that if you know Taylor Swift, she has a beautiful, loving relationship now. So she has found that person that matches her. So I think that that also can be something for you to kind of look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, sorry, how many things are in here? I am going to So we have these. These are messages from heaven communication cards. They are like messages here from your ancestors. So we have talk to us. We are still listening with an owl and number 10. We have let us hug you, close your eyes as we hold you close, number 30.
Monkey.
If the other one's 20, I'll be shook. No, it's not. Number 34, we support you as you cleanse and clear both inside and out.
Again, the number 1 is important for this group, and then that adds number 3 and number 7 as well.
Okay. And those are obviously messages from your ancestors, that they want you to talk to them. They're listening to you. They want to help you with this. They want to help you clear this karma that they've carried so that, you can have, and be held by them so that you can, then go and let your heart, find someone. So I will shuffle these. These are some words from your ancestors with lyrics and stuff from Coco and the Book of Life. There's one. So we will see what they have to say. And then these ones are kind of like here, gifts from your ancestors, kind of like what they're helping you or what they're bringing in for you. And then we will finish up with your stickers. So, okay, that one fell out over there. Sorry, I tried to do them on camera, but this one fell out off camera. Okay. So your first one here, we have, oh, I love this song. Or it's a quote, actually. I have to sing, I have to play the music. It's not just in me, it is me. When life gets me down, I play my guitar. The rest of the world may follow the rules, but I must follow my heart, which is funny because that was a quote from the first pile. You know that feeling like there's a song in the air and it's playing just for you? I hope you like it. By Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco. And we have here another one. Okay. And then we have, oh, who cries. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I am with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms again. Remember me. Also from Coco. So it's fine, I'll just cry a little bit.
Very soft.
Yeah, these are very endearing messages. And again, this song goes really well with what I was talking about with like potentially having ancestors who have left, or some of you may have someone who passed away, like that was really important to you, that may have left you or your family, and they just want you to know that like they're still with you even if they have passed on or whatnot. And this can even be again about like if you are someone who travels and you're worried about like leaving your family behind, like that you have to know that you can let them know you're with them. Okay, so let's see what gifts. Okay, this one came flying out, so I will take that. I'm trying to get them to fly this way. Okay, and that one. All right. So we have, finding the one / marriage. Taylor, I wrote this specifically because I heard Taylor Swift when I was writing this one. And so I put Taylor, but your name could be Taylor, or the name of your person could be Taylor. You had a ton of Taylor Swift references in this pile, I'm just saying. Blue shoes, Valentine's Day, beagles, pineapple, pumpkin soup, a velvet dress, and mistletoe. So I remember Bekah mentioned. Hey. So there you go. That could some confirmation. We did not write, like she does her channel messages as we're going. I did these before. So she has no idea what's on these cards. And then you have this one. And this one is, baby.
Oh, rocking chair.
Rocking
Oh
chair.
my God.
Pink, rainbows, penguin, cheese, sweater vests, Capricorn season. So again, that winter time. Vegas, it's a girl. So if you do have a baby, there's a high chance that it's a girl. Again, I know that gender is, very broad, but the sex of the baby may be female.
Well,
yeah. So for some of you, be careful if you don't want a baby right away, but know that your ancestors are helping to bring all of this in for you. They want you to find the one. They want you to have a family. Wow. Wow. There's so much in this pile.
yes, there really was. And for some reason, your ancestors really didn't send me messages during that, but I think it's because there were plenty.
Yeah. There were definitely plenty. Okay,
They were
so let
like,
me just
sit back and watch.
yeah, I think they just wanted Bekah to know that there was some confirmation for her too. Wow, I'm a little bit. I forgot that I wrote rocking chair on one of these.
I was like, why am I seeing a rocking chair? Not really sure.
Oh, okay. So let's wrap up here with your stickers. There might even be more in here for you. Okay, so Little Mermaid. Okay, this one came flying. Oh my God. Sweet baby. You have Dream Bigger, Do Bigger. Okay, let me just pull these out. Okay, this one reminds me of Quick Change, but this also reminds me of The Flash. So, like, if you love that show, please watch it because it's amazing. Or if you've never seen it, please watch it. Yes, or read the comics. But The Flash, but that's like, it really does make me think of Quick. Ooh, yes. Okay, so if any of you had a question, the answer is yes. Look at that. Cute. This gives me chariot vibes, Cancer vibes, which I should have said it because I saw the crab and I was like, oh, Cancer. So there you go. Some community with the dumplings, but this also makes me think of a little family because that looks like a tiny dumpling there.
Mm-hmm. Which, remember, I said water energy for this group, so you've gotten some Cancer and water references too.
Mm-hmm.
A bear.
Polar bear with a little scarf. So some more winter references. Knock. I'm hearing knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. But to me, this is like opportunity is knocking. Maybe you're going to meet someone soon, or they're coming to meet you. Some donuts.
Treats.
Oh, little baby bunny, little baby bear, a little diaper bag.
Little stuffies.
Yes. Rainbows. Grow old with me, the best is yet to be. That's so soft.
Yes, it is.
A glue gun. So you guys might be doing some crafts. Little couple here being all fancy. Okay. We have, here's some more silly energy, cute. We have when oceans rise, my soul rests. So yes, you guys need to rest. Look at that water reference too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we have By My Side, which is a song by Monsta X. So it's a very soft song, which goes really well with this reading, just saying. And you have some months of the year here. I pre-shuffled these and I put them, I gave 3 months of the year to every pile. So these are the ones that came out for you when I shuffled them. You had February, November, and June. So this could be like this coming November. Maybe you'll meet that person. February has some lovely stuff. And then we have June. Oh, wait, didn't one of your things say Valentine's Day on it? Hold on. Yes. Finding the one in marriage, Valentine's Day. I also shuffled these out at a completely different time than I made these. So there's another confirmation for you. There was so much in this pile, you guys. I really hope you liked it. You can find us on all social medias. I want to take this time to thank your guides and your ancestors and our guides for bringing these beautiful messages. It is an honor for us to read for you. We always have so much fun. We really hope you liked this one. And if you wanted to pick another pile, please go ahead. And we will talk to you next time. Adios, amigos.
Yes, and don't forget to comment, hit like, or subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Hola, group 3 or group 3. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose this pile, you chose this beautiful pile topper, which says, don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please other people, from Coco, which is a beautiful quote. I love it a lot. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So we have a lot for you guys today. We are going to be doing Astro Dice. Bekah will be doing channeled messages throughout by using fire magic, which is super exciting and cool. We will be doing oracles and tarot, and then some of our handwritten oracles, as well as stickers. So we have a ton of messages from your ancestors for you. So let's get right into it with the dice. Oh, and I will be live shuffling. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Okay, so is that Sun?
Yes.
So we have Sun in Cancer in the 12th house.
Oof, deep time for you.
Yes.
Okay.
They told me they want you to write that down because they want me to roll one more time for this group.
Okay, Sun, Cancer, and 12th house.
So we're going to... Okay, then we have Venus in Scorpio in the 5th.
Okay. Ooh, okay. First of
All
all, lots of depth in this group. There's a lot of like deep feelings happening, and a lot of stuff being brought to the surface for this group. But another thing that they're pointing out to me, so I'm going to try to organize this in my brain first. We're going to start with the Sun, Cancer, 12th house rule. So basically what that's about, so Cancer and the 12th house. So the 12th house is usually ruled by Pisces. It is a water house. So obviously it's different depending on what is in your astrological chart as far as like what's located where. Your sun can be anywhere in your chart, but your sun is all about the self. It's all about the ego, all about your self-expression, because the sun is like the illuminated part of you. And it's really interesting because you got it in the 12th house with Cancer. Cancer is all about like your intuition. It's about the mother, family, home, roots. It's also about your emotions. Because the moon is generally ruled by Cancer, then you can relate a lot of the moon to Cancer itself. So the energy of like Cancer in the 12th with the sun is, it's like the sun is illuminating your emotions, your feelings, your intuition, things that have been hidden. It's bringing all of that to the surface so that you can see it. If you have the sun in the 12th house, then that's definitely a placement I would highly recommend looking into it. There's a lot in astrology about any placements being in your 12th house are actually extremely important for you, because that's a house where it's kind of like, if you dive into those hidden things in that house, then you can learn a lot about yourself. And in doing that, you'll find things that you can lean into that would be like strengths, but you can also find those things that you might not, like normally you would see them as like weaknesses, but you can use those to your advantage. So that's really important. And then the Venus Scorpio 5th house, Venus in the 5th house is new romance, like straight up front. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. It's all about like commitment, long-term relationships, values, love, beauty, aesthetics, all of that stuff. And 5th house is Leo normally, like it's ruled by Leo traditionally. But the 5th house is all about like romance, creativity, children, fun. It's all about like that Leo, like bold energy. Sometimes it can be an indicator of fame, depending on what you want. But when you have Venus in that house and then you have Scorpio on top of it, Scorpio is death and rebirth. It's about total transformation. And so for a lot of you, you're going to have like that part of your life really shaken up. So basically, as you're going through this healing with this 12th house and like figuring out, you know, you're illuminating all those shadows and figuring out your emotions and really working with them, that's going to allow you to basically reinvent how you see like relationships and how you see like your creativity and putting that to use. Some of you may be like going through, some of you might be finding out that you're having a baby. So congratulations if that's the case. And that might be kind of changing everything for you. And that might be what's bringing up those emotions in that 12th house, especially with that Cancer energy. Again, that's like the mother. So for some of you that pick this pile, it's very strong, like parenthood vibes. But for some of you, it really is just about like, as you look at these feelings and emotions, you're using them in a creative way, whether that be through like art, music, which I'll get to that in a second, because I got some stuff about music for you guys already in your channeled messages, whether that be using art, music, any type of creative ability to pull that all out. I feel like you're going to be falling in love with not only like that part of yourself, but you're going to be learning about a lot of different things that make you feel good and make you feel happy and kind of like help you heal all of that stuff that's in there. And I think for some of you, that also means that you're going to be coming into a new romantic situation, because again, it's all about new romance in the 5th house, especially if you have Venus there. So just keep that in mind. I know in a solar return chart, which is just basically each year on your birthday, you get a new chart. If you have Venus lining up with your 5th house or your 7th house, which is Libra, it can indicate that that's a year that you meet a soulmate potentially. So for some of you, like I said, you might be meeting your person. For some of you, it might be meeting a baby. And then for some of you, you're just meeting yourself again, which that was a lot of information. But basically your ancestors are very excited. So
Yeah.
so whatever it is, it's really good.
Yeah, this group totally spoiled. You guys got the most cards so far. Please don't tell the other groups. If you watched one of the other groups, hello, you get even more cards. You have a lot of confirmation already. First of all, Stork. This came out in the group before, so if you watched that, definitely know that babies. We have Change, which came out twice with the horse here and then the snake. So you have a lot there, which I've been taking these cards as like what you've been like working on with your ancestors for the ones that are upside down, but then also like the gifts you get from working through that. So for you have number 2, the receptive, and it says direction, life force, and transform, which you have transformation here with the butterfly. And then you have stagnation, attachment, and stuck. So some of you might have been feeling stuck for a long time, but it's because you've been rebirthing. And, you know, snake definitely gives me that Scorpio energy of like rebirthing, regrowing, like all of that. So I think that that's a huge energy for you guys, a lot of that change. You also have here hollow bone ability. So you've been learning a lot and gaining a lot of wisdom. I almost see each of these horns as like the wisdom you've been learning, and you're going to be spreading that wisdom to others. And that might be part of like your purpose and like this change that's coming in, is you'll start teaching and growing. With the fox, I know people tend to think of the fox as really sly, but for this one, I'm thinking of the fox as like gathering resources. See how he has the fish and he's going home. Like I'm thinking like this fox is going home to feed the family, and I don't know why. It's just the vibe that I'm picking up off of this card. It just very much feels like this feels very calm, very stable, and I think this is the energy that you're coming into, which is great to come out with the stork here. And we also have dolphin, which is contemplation, breath, prana, nowness, awake. So you've been learning to live in the now. And because of that, that's bringing in this new, which is beautiful. Because before you might have been dealing with suffocation, blockages, and stress. Yes, I definitely get that from this group. I think you guys have had a lot go on in your lives. And 2, again, is highlighted because of the number 20. And then we have here dragon and antelope. I don't know if you can tell, but your guides really love animals for you guys. Dragon, Gaia's gateway, Axis, Earth's inner wisdom, and then you have Antelope, new pathways. Consider whether you are happy on your current path. So if you are happy on your current path, guys want to say, don't worry about that message. What they want you to get from this message is that new pathways are opening for you. But if you've been at the same job or doing the same old, and it hasn't been working for you, they want you to consider changing up that path and maybe again sharing what you learned, because it reminds me here of the horns. And then we have adventure awaits. There's a verb, there's some butterflies. Look at this little suitcase. It says, break up your routine and live a little, sweetheart. It's time for some adventure. Plan a vacation, take a spontaneous drive. A change of pace and scenery will do you good. I'm hearing Scenery by V from BTS. Plus, you never know whom you'll meet, or what you'll experience along the way. A fabulous new friend or a partner. A spectacular meal at a charming local joint. The vista of a lifetime. Adventure awaits. I love that. I think that card basically just said it all. Your dice said it all already, which this to me just confirmed everything that sorry. And that Bekah picked up from the dice. And like, you guys just have some amazing, like, so much change, and you guys have gone through a lot of deep healing. So first, please stop and give yourself like a huge round of applause. Give yourself some love, give yourself some self-care, give yourself like all the good things. Eat something delicious, like it said. Excuse me, because you guys have this beautiful stuff that's incoming, and it's because you've done all this work and your ancestors are totally with you on this, and they're helping you open up those new pathways and transform and bringing in like all of this change and growth. And then 28, sorry, I wanted to point that out. As well.
I have a lot of messages.
Go for it. I'm gonna be shuffling.
So it's interesting because some of those cards actually confirmed some of the ones I got before we even started. We have Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas came through. So if you like Tim Burton's stuff, I personally am obsessed with Tim Burton. But if you like his stuff, that stuff's coming through. Corpse Bride came through very strong for this group. So that might be a movie that you want to watch to see why. Obviously, that's about like a bride who died. I don't want to ruin the movie, so just go watch it. You have August Rush, which is also a movie. It's about a boy who plays guitar in a unique way, which music came through a lot. Guitar, butterflies, which I laughed because the butterfly card came out. Bats, the color blue, so like your throat chakra specifically came through. Wedding, gardening, Once Upon a December from Anastasia. Bliss, Hershey's Kisses, Candy, Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Which is the Sugar Sugar, oh honey honey, you're my candy girl song. Hollow by Tori Kelly came through. Summer Wind by Frank Sinatra. Forever Young by Alphaville. Trust, and then the song Still the One by Shania Twain. So we have a very wide range of music that's coming through.
I'm also hearing that song Sugar Sugar, how you get so fly.
Again, another wide range song.
Yeah.
Your guides like to talk through music, but music is specifically important for this group. I think one way that you can connect to your ancestors is by listening to music. And I mean, like, not just like the hits or whatever, like, just, I would just pick, like, even if you have like Spotify, you can go in and you can pick like random playlists and stuff. Go in and pick a playlist that like was curated by Spotify that's from like a different time period, and hit shuffle and see what comes up and see if you like anything, because your guides are definitely talking to you through music. Like for instance, like Still the One by Shania Twain is from the 90s. I think the Sugar Sugar song is from like the 60s. Hollow is from recent times. Summer Wind was Frank Sinatra. So I mean, like, you have a super wide range of music. So just know that your guides like to talk to you that way and can give you messages. And I think your ancestors also really like music. So there might be some important connection for you with that as well.
Ooh, you guys have big energy. And I mean this in a compliment, because I looked at the bottom of the deck and they told me to keep shuffling because they wanted one more card to come out. And the world is still at the bottom of the deck, which is crazy. So first of all, let's talk about this, because I've been taking the bottom of the deck as like stuff you've gone through with your ancestors. And look at this. There's an angel who watches over you. Like, to me, this is your ancestor. This is you. This is like the animals that are helping you. Of course, like obviously in traditional tarot, these are the thick signs, but just go with me here. That's what it feels like to me. And I see you have this like sash on you. So it tells me that like you've completed this cycle. You have cleared all the ancestral karma that you could clear for your family, which again, like I said, please pat on the back for you. You really deserve it. And to me, they're telling you like, there's really not anything else I need to talk about with this, because you've done the work and now you're going to reap the rewards. Because with the Six of Pentacles, yes, this can mean generosity from someone else. So you might meet someone who's generous, but for me, this can be about how if you share your wealth of knowledge, you will be paid back by the universe, gifts from spirit through wealth. You're going to be paid back by them anyway, because you've cleared from your ancestors, because you've cleared family karma. So like, take this as a great sign that like you will not worry about money. Like, money will be okay. But really, for you guys, the more you share your knowledge and what you've done, the more like that these pentacles will fall. And you're going to do that with your creativity, with what you love, because you stepped into your King of Wands energy. You know what you love, your passions, you know about spirituality, you know how to like clear your own karma, and you're going to be able to do that. And you're going, yeah, look, everything's being revealed to you with this, the Ace of Swords. There's so much clarity coming to you. You have everything that you need. Like, Spirit's going to hand you the answers. Your ancestors are with you 100%. And then like, look at this. This is so gorgeous. King of Pentacles. So what did I just say about money? More animals. And look, he's holding his pentacle here. Like, you're going to be well taken care of, and there's going to be some serious movement. Like, you have the Chariot. So like there, and again, this goes back to that Cancer that we had. You've done so much deep work, and like because of that, like look, movement, travel, like just yeah. And this can even mean travel. Like, you might be able now to see the world because you've cleared so much karma that like your horizons are just going to expand so much. Like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like, I have chills.
This is super exciting. And like I think the energy is just like your guides and ancestors are just like super excited right now. So it's very hard because it's like I'm getting bombarded at the moment.
Yeah.
But you got, again, more messages. You have Respect by Aretha Franklin, which is like your guides are like, yes, honey, you know. You got the song Run Run Rudolph that came through. So for some of you, Christmas time could be important. Twinkle Lights, Blankets, Astrology, Shooting Stars, the song Catch a Falling Star, specifically like they made sure to reference that Catch a Falling Star song, but they said also Princess Diaries.
Yes, we did a reading based on that, so go check that out if you haven't.
Yes, Make a Wish by NCT came in. I don't remember if that was, I think it was NCTU maybe. I'm not sure. One of the NCT groups. Cinderella, Peter Pan, You Can Fly. Disney movies are really important. Your guide said that a lot of information can be learned from watching things. So for some of you, you might get messages through like movies and shows and like animes and from reading books and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you're drawn to something random, like a movie or something, just watch it and check it out and see what you can get from it. Because I think you get a lot of messages that way too. It's almost like your guides have unique ways of contacting you. So for a lot of you, like they send you signs in like really obvious ways, but also not obvious at the same time. And by what I mean by that is like they send you signs by saying like showing you things, like physically putting it in front of you, but you have to be open to seeing the signs is kind of what they're saying. So if anything stands out to you and you're like, ooh, I really want to read that book, and it's like just a really random book, check it out. If you see a movie on Netflix that pops up and you're like, I've never watched a movie like this before. I've never heard of this movie, but I feel like it looks interesting. Watch it. See what lessons you can learn from it and what information comes from it, because that's really, really important for this group. I feel so like high vibe. Like, I think your guides want you to also like be excited, but remember to breathe. um, I think things are just very fast moving energy wise. So just make sure that you're still taking time out to like breathe and like calm yourself too.
Agree. So I'm floored because I was putting the decks back in, so I shuffled really quick to put it back, and they said, hey, flip over the deck. And so here you go, 10 of Pentacles. As if you didn't already know that there was going to be foundation. They really want you to know that like they're taking care of you. Like they are so grateful to you and all of the work that you've put in to like clear your family's karma, to like make a better life for yourself, for the choices that you've made. Like you're doing so much. And I'm hearing Un Poco Loco from Coco, which was in pile 1. So if you felt drawn, check that out. So yeah, there you go. That is beautiful. So we have these cards, which you guys got some extras. Like I said, don't tell the other groups. We have Jackie Newcomb's Messages from Heaven communication cards. So these will be some messages from your ancestors. We have We Care About You. We want you to take care of yourself. Problems that have held you back are being cleared. We are monitoring it. Also, this is number 20. You have 31. Your intuition is strong. We are reaching out to help. Number 7. We have Stand Up for What You Know Is Right. We are supporting you. 27. And then we have You Are Ready for a Change of Scenery. Explore. Excuse me. Number 39, which is funny because you had that card about going out and exploring an adventure. So amazing.
You had 2 more songs come through. You had Breathe by Anna Nolick, which is the Breathe 2 a.m. And then you have Butterfly Wings by ATEEZ that came through. So
also
far.
I used to belt Breathe at the top of my lungs when I was younger.
Yeah, definitely the part about like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, you shout, and you're just as far in as you'll ever be out. Like that lyric specifically is coming through.
And these mistakes you make, yeah, you'll make them again. Okay, this one fell out. I'm trying to get them to fall out on camera so you guys can see that I'm not picking them. And they keep falling back. So there you go.
Well, they listened.
Thank you. Okay, and these ones are going to be like little gifts from your ancestors, or like what they're helping you with, what they're bringing in. Okay, well, again, we had some fly out, but they flew out off camera. I'm gonna try again. If they fall out again, then they're meant for you.
One thing, your guides want you to look into your, I know this is gonna sound cheesy. I mean, I'm an astrologer, so like for me, this is like normal, but your guides want you to look into your astrology deeper. So, you know, if you're somebody that has already kind of started looking into your astrology, they want you to keep diving into it. If you're someone that's never touched your astrology, even like having someone just do like a quick like big 3 look for you, or just researching like your moon sign, or like, you know, any placements or anything like that, or even like, you know, how those placements interact, or, you know, what's going on astrologically right now. Like if you look that stuff up, your guides say you can get a lot of information that will be very helpful for you as far as like getting confirmation or feeling like you're being heard or seen. So exploring that, as well as any form of energy healing. So if you seek out like Reiki or, you know, readings of any kind to help you kind of heal anything, you've already done a lot of that work, but your guides want you to like do things that make you feel good. And so if you want to get like an energy healing session where like you have someone just go in and kind of clear things out and help you kind of balance your energy back out. Like they're saying, it's okay to splurge on stuff like that, or to get readings every once in a while, just to kind of give you confirmation and to kind of comfort you if you're having a tough time. That's something that's coming through for you guys as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so excuse me. Okay, sorry. I had this one for you guys, which is, I am done asking permission. When you see your moment, you mustn't let it pass you by. You must seize it. Ernesto de la Cruz. And then we have, anyone can die. These kids, they will have the courage to live. La muerte. And then you got a second quote here, which is, inside of you is a strength that cannot be measured. Maria, from the Book of Life. So those are some beautiful quotes. And then we have here, travel. Signs are bicycles, acorns, tulips, 44, key, magnifying glass, teacups, toy, model plane. Then you have abundance / windfall. Walnut tree, crafts, a craftsman house. So if you've been wanting a craftsman type house, maybe that's a sign you'll get one. Pinochle. I don't know why that came through when I wrote this, but I took it. Dancing. Red shoes, a French horn, and a seal. So those are some very exciting things for you. You guys had a ton of these cards pop out, but they kept falling off camera. So I know they wanted to give you all the messages that they could, but we have another pile, so I could not do that. So, but just know that I am trying to take the ones that fall on camera so you guys can see that we're not picking them. We're letting spirit pick them, your ancestors. But yeah, these were super beautiful. You had a lot about travel, so that makes sense. And you had a ton about abundance, so that makes sense. And some other, excuse me, I don't know where that accent came from, some other beautiful messages that came through. So yeah, you guys are super blessed, and I'm super excited for you. I feel like your ancestors, the windfall, I almost get that, yes, it's about money, but I almost get the vibe of they're gonna give you anything and everything that you want. Just name it and they'll do it. I'm hearing the I want it, I got it.
Ariana Grande.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to your amazing stickers. There's one that's stuck in there, so we'll take that one first. Oh, it's a little unicorn kitty.
Cute.
That makes me think of magic.
The "Do You Believe in Magic" song is stuck in my head.
Oh, cute. Okay, we have Ariel here with a little pocket watch. So this is making me think of timing. And this almost looks like mistletoe that she has. So again, that kind of gives me that December vibe. Here we go. This is very cute.
Aww.
We have birthday. So if you just had a birthday, maybe Bekah was talking about looking at your astrology. So maybe looking at your solar return for this year, or getting a reading for that, or, again, looking up your astrology, or there might be some type of birthday party you go to that's really important. Riding the waves. Shrimply the best.
You like sushi.
Yes. Here we go. We have a nice, tall, dark, and handsome here.
Oh, with rain.
Yes, some rain.
My
Hi,
cat
Sebastian.
says hello.
Christmas trees.
Oh, goes back to that Run Run Rudolph vibe.
Kind heart, fierce mind.
Disney movies, I mentioned those.
Yep. Here's another little couple. I almost feel like Spirit saying with this, keep your eyes open, because you might be so involved in your phone or whatever, and I feel like these two are crossing paths, and maybe you'll accidentally bump into each other, or it's you might you'll never miss what's meant for you, right? But it's like you might, like for some of you, it might be like you and this person, for some, live in the same town and you've walked by each other like a million times and you'll meet at the exact right moment. But you know, it might be something funny that you guys are like, oh my God. Smile s'more. Cute. You only live once, which, you know, I believe in past lives, so that's not true, but you only live this incarnation once. So know that, like, you know, take every moment that you can. Again, we have some more antlers. This is a deer, but it gives me
Climb
that.
every mountain from Sound Before Music, or Sound Before Music, Sound of Music popped into my head.
So for some of you, this to me is talking about like you've been through that past relationship trauma, like with the why and the sad, and like we've talked about this, you've cleared all of this. And so like again, because of that, you're being rewarded. But I think your guides want to acknowledge your pain and what you've been through, and that they're here for you, and that they love you, and that, like, you know, they're, and your ancestors are with you, and that they know you've been through this, and that they want to help you get through it and to get to all these beautiful blessings. Okay. And last but not least, I shuffled out 3 months of the year with stickers. So these are the ones that you guys got. Oh, look at that. December, October, December, and May. So those are some important months coming up for you. We're in October right now as we're filming this. So maybe you did have 31. So maybe this Halloween will be very important for you. That would be really cool. Could just have some more great stuff coming up in the rest of October, December, not that far away. So look forward to a great holiday. And then a beautiful time comes spring. So that's very exciting. That is all we have for you, loves. You guys had a beautiful pile. Like, wow, like I'm blown away. You guys have a lot of amazing things coming for you. And I want to take this time to thank your ancestors and guides, and our ancestors and guides. It is a pleasure for us to read for you. It is such an honor. We love it. We always have so much fun. You can find us on all the social medias. You can watch another pile if you felt drawn to it. You were kind of getting vibes from 1 and 2, but maybe a little more so pile 1. So I would check that out if you haven't already. This is extremely gorgeous and lovely, and I'm just like a little bit floored. Yeah, super, super wonderful. I don't know. I'm floored. I'm a little bit speechless.
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and also let us know what you thought. Reach out to us if you need a reading or anything. We definitely would love to help you with that as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it. And leave a comment, like, or, you know, do all that fun YouTube stuff. And we will catch you next time. Adios, amigos.
Bye, friends.
Hola, pile 4. Hello, welcome to your reading. If this is your little pile topper that you chose, it says here, with all my heart, never stop loving you, from the Book of Life. This is such a cute little quote. Let me put that back there. Okay, so we have a ton for you guys today. We have dice, we have stickers here, we have oracles, we have our little handwritten oracles, tarot, of course. So we will get started for you guys. And then I will be doing live shuffling, and Bekah will also be doing channeled messages throughout using fire, which is really cool. So here we go. We will start out with your dice.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, we have Libra, 12th house. And is this north or south?
I believe that's the south node, but let me double check. I always get mixed up with the nodes because they're usually reverse of what I think they are. So hold on. Nodes. Does it look like a horseshoe or like a U?
I can't tell.
The line would be underneath. So that's the south node,
Okay.
because the line would be the bottom.
Okay.
So that is an interesting energy. Okay. So you have the south node, you have Libra, and you have the 12th house, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We have had some huge 12th house energy in like all of the piles. So for a lot of you, you're going through a lot of like the hidden depths right now, which is actually super, yeah, it's very much the collective energy. A lot of the planets have been moving into what's called direct or stationing direct this month. There's still a few that are retrograde that are going to be retrograde until the end of the year. But for the most part in October, if you're watching this like real time, October 2021, we had 4 of the 7 planets go direct this month. And with that comes a lot of moving forward in those departments. And one of those planets was Pluto, one was Jupiter, one was Saturn, and then of course Mercury, which goes retrograde 3 times a year. So that's pretty normal. But for the other planets, it's not as common. For a lot of people, what's happening right now is now that things are starting to move forward again in a lot of departments, in a lot of areas of life, things are being kind of pulled up from the depths so that we can heal them and work on them. For this group specifically, it's about tapping into your gifts from like a lot of people with the South Node, it's about like your past life energy. And not everybody believes in reincarnation or past lives or whatever that may be, but we do. And the South Node in astrology is generally seen as it's a node of the moon, but basically it's seen as the past life. So where you're most comfortable from a past life and what you've already mastered in a past life. And it can kind of indicate like gifts and things that you have like automatically coming into this life. But your whole goal in this incarnation is to move forward towards your north node and tap into that. But you can do that by already using the things that you've mastered. And because this is coming out in the 12th house, it's like those things that you've mastered are being pulled to the surface so you can see them and so that you can use those to your advantage. Now with Libra is all about like commitments, partnerships, legalities, beauty, aesthetics, long-term like business partners, things like that. And in the 12th house, it could be that, which this is actually very similar. This thing that I'm saying right now is very similar to the second pile. So there might be a connection there. So if you came from the second pile, hello. If you haven't watched it, maybe you should. But basically with the 12th house in Libra and the South Node, it's kind of telling me that you're tapping into like the things that you love, the things that you're passionate about, and that, you have basically been committed to, whether that be a partnership or to yourself in general. Like you're bringing those things into your 12th house so that you can heal those things that are kind of hidden down really far. Another thing with that is that you're bringing, love into the equation for yourself. And that's helping you to bring up that stuff and release it. And then, of course, one thing I want to remind people when the South Node comes out, another thing that could indicate is that sometimes it's easier to sit in that South Node energy. So wherever that South Node is on your chart, you'd want to look and see. So for instance, I'll give you an example. My South Node is in my 3rd house of Gemini. Is my houses are all like where their rulership naturally is. But my South Node is in Gemini in the 3rd house. And basically that means like, I'm comfortable being somewhere where I'm communicating about a lot of things, where I'm very connected, where I'm very like Gemini energy. But my North Node is in Sagittarius. So I need to be committed to one thing, learning a lot, spirituality, learning trust instead of knowledge is a big thing for me. And like also travel is really big for me. Instead of being kind of like in that Mercury energy, I'm supposed to be more in like a Jupiter energy. Now, the reason I bring that up is because wherever that South Node is, you tend to feel the most comfortable there, but you don't move forward there. So I think this is just kind of an indicator of like you're becoming aware of that position where you feel comfortable, so that you can find that place where you don't feel comfortable that you can push forward and grow and lean into. Because when you find your north node and you lean into that, that helps you move forward, that helps you heal the things from the past and helps things move very, very quickly for you. So it really is about like diving in and figuring out like, you know, where is it that I feel comfortable? Where do I feel uncomfortable? And how can I bring love into the equation to heal this part of myself and to move forward into that part that seems a little more scary sometimes? And I think that's a really important thing for this group.
Mm-hmm. So similar to the last group, you guys got a couple extra cards. They came out, so I took them. You got a ton going on here. And already some confirmations. You have snake twice. So that could be a very important energy. And that is the Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. We also have power twice because the horse is also power. So you guys have a lot of power coming in. Bekah was talking about gifts. So this makes me think about like power and gifts coming from your ancestors. This is the power of the great, and it says empowerment, unleashed energy. And I've been taking these cards as like the gifts you get from your ancestors, but also the things you've been through and that you've been healing. So you have mistrust, force, and restriction. So some of you might have felt like really restricted. Now you're going to be breaking free. You're going to be stepping into your power. Number 34. We also have the number 4 here. And this stork card has come out in 3 piles. So there's lots of babies, I think, coming. But also this is like with that creativity, because you've had that talk. This can be the birth of a creative project of yours that's going to be extremely successful because you have fulfillment here. And like that peach, you know, it's like nice and ripe and it's under the moonlight. Like it's growing, it's blossoming. And so I think that like there's a lot of like growth here for you. And with Anchor, I see like a lot of like new stability coming into your life that's going to be making things really like great for you. We also have 67, miscellaneous, adaptability, duck, comfort, versatile, reliable, and upset, frightened, and reactive. So yes, you guys have been healing a lot of this karma. Like, you know, the reactions, the perceptions of past life from family. You guys have been pulling all of that out. Limitation, yes. You guys, this is a group that's been restricted and limited a lot. And basically what I get is that you're breaking free. With boundaries, you have value, self-discipline, and shields, and you know how to protect yourself now and not let other people just trample all over you. And then we have armoring, encroachment, and undervaluing. Sorry, I had to pull it closer to read it. So that's all super, super beautiful energy. And I think you've cleared a lot of this. And like I said, you're stepping into your own power. And then you have opportunity, caterpillar. So you guys have beautiful, like new energy that's coming in. With the 4, this makes me think of stability, like, you know, an opportunity that's coming again with that stork and the Kundalini rising and the gifts. Like there's a lot coming to me. Like this is a very spiritual pile. And you don't have to be working in spirituality. Like you could be a photographer, but still like, you know, spiritual in the sense of like that you've done this healing work, maybe done a lot of therapy, things like that, but you're growing and, you know, your business is growing and like things are going to be really beautiful and fulfilling for you in this next chapter. So then we have play. Cute. A beagle. A beagle was the confirmation in, I think, pile 2. So again, like we have a lot of references to pile 2. So you might want to check that out. Self-care includes having fun. Are you playing enough, darling? Do you have enough free time, or are you booked to the minute? Life goes by so darn fast. Make sure to have a blast along the way. Play connects us to our childlike curiosity and zest. When life feels too serious, toss aside your to-do list and make room for the stuff that turns you on. Go to the movies, have an adult slumber party, swing at the playground. You're never too old to wee. Let the fun shine in and live a little or a lot.
Yes.
Celebrate your love. We have, when we cherish our beloved, the bond grows stronger. We create deeper levels of trust, intimacy, and friendship. It's all too easy to get comfortable and put your relationship on cruise control. So spice it up instead. Do something special and spontaneous. And if you're currently looking for your soulmate, take yourself out for a fun date. The happier and more connected you are to yourself, the more attractive you will be to others.
You have a lot of channel messages coming through. A lot of them. So I'm going to say those now. You have The Lovely Bones, which is a great book and movie. You have Skeleton Keys, Neon Lights, Car Rides at Night, Happy, Glee, like the TV show Glee, Christmas Stockings, Charles Dickens books, Rain Boots, Yellow, Green Check Marks, Reading Rainbow, books in general, Let the Flames Begin by Paramore, Sunsets, Beaches, Seashells, Seagulls, Blue Flame by Astro, Very Hungry Caterpillar, like the book, Riddles, Tanning, and then the moonroof, which is like the moonroof on like a car where like you can open it and like think like those movies where like somebody will pop out of the roof of the car and like put their hands up and like ride with the wind. That's kind of like the vibe. Also, Toy Story just came out, so you know.
Oh. Ooh. Wow, beautiful.
Blue and orange are very important colors for this group. Which is the sacral chakra and the throat chakra. Those two are coming in really, really strong for this group. So using your creativity is really, really important for you, as well as sensuality. Doing some like dancing could be really, really good for this group, as well as communication, not only with like others, but obviously like with yourself, with your guides and ancestors. Speaking your truth, putting, you know, blogging, writing, reading, all of that is really, really important for this group.
I agree. Okay, so one thing I want to say is like, I've been taking the bottom of the deck to be like kind of like what your ancestors, like the karma you cleared, or like, you know, what they're currently working on you with. And for you guys, they're working with you and you cleared a lot of karma where like your ancestors have worked really hard for little money, is kind of what I'm getting. Like they worked really hard, worked their butts off, and only ever been a page. Like, and it's just been extremely, extremely like difficult. But I think it's because they've been working like the typical 9 to 5, not following their passions. And so with you, they're changing that and you're building a new foundation and stability. And if you haven't, then they're working with you right now to change that and to get, so this is that sign to get out of that stifling job that's not, you know, suiting you anymore. Even if you need to keep it right now to pay the bill, start working towards your passions little by little. So like Bekah was just talking about blogging and writing. So if that's something that makes you happy, start writing. Even if it's just, you know, a paragraph a day, that's still better than nothing. So, you know, move towards those things, because this to me is the karma that you clear, like that you've cleared or that you're clearing. You're breaking the bonds of this, because I see this chain and I feel like you're breaking those bonds and you are growing past this, and you're going to like, you know, move into this like better energy and actually start getting what you want, because you've done the emotional work, you've done the healing, and like now you know how to actually work and perfect your own craft so that you can move beyond this page. And so they're asking me to cut in half. Yes, you are leaving this behind, what your ancestors did, so that you can stumble onto the next chapter that's right and good for you. Because even here, we have the 9 of Wands. And to me, like, you've been carrying a lot of family burdens. There's been a lot that's been put on you. And because I wouldn't be surprised if people in this group are a big emotional support for their family, for like their loved ones, for people, their friends, that they've just carried the weight of a lot. And like, you know, you have like learned now how to also fill your own cup, even though you have these burdens and things that are really heavy that have been weighing on you. That, you know, just you know, the 9 of Wands tends to be like, this person is a little bit like defensive, but I really almost get, again, like I said, like this is like protective, like you've had to be the protector and the caretaker and the, you know, like lover energy of your family, like keeping everything together. And that's been really, really, really hard for you. And it's been very draining. But because of that, like spirit wants to, you know, your ancestors want to reward you with the marriage, that balance, that stability. We had the number 4 before, the 4 of Wands, of your dreams, that stability in your life. Like this is a wedding, you know, they're getting married. And, you know, this is 9 of Cups. This is that beautiful, beautiful wish fulfillment, you know, they want that for you. And I think that there's just so much that they want to give you. Like this is actually making me a little bit like, whoo, because there's so much that you've carried for your family, and they really want to reward you. Like with this is that manifestation, like getting everything that you've ever wanted. Like they want to give you that because you've done a lot for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones. And like it's finally kind of like I'm getting like it's your time to shine. Yes, it is your time to become the Empress, basically, is what I'm getting. Like you've learned to stand in your power. You've learned to know that like you're worthy of the things that you want, and that like instead of like these red colors, you know, reflecting like the burdens, now you know how to stand in this beautiful power and just like embrace all that you are. And you're like, yes, I've come from this hard life. Yes, it's been really difficult, but like, look at me now. Like I'm shining. Like you have those cards about power. You stepped into your power. You stepped into your truth. Like, and you are glowing. Like you are basically, you've become this Empress. You've become the Queen of Cups. You're going to get all the things that you want. And, you know, you just have to know that basically, even though it's been so hard, that it's all going to be worth it at the end of the day, because you've done everything that you needed to do.
Mm-hmm. I agree with all of that. I think it's very, very, very beautiful energy, and there's a lot of emotional balance going on. A lot of really beautiful things to celebrate coming in. You have a few more messages that came through. Flower Child, the 70s have come through real strong for this group. So if there's any ancestry, any like ancestors or anything that you know of from like that had like a prime in the 70s, or maybe that passed in the 70s, or you know that was maybe that's just an important time period for you or your family in some way. That's come through strong, because not only is the Lovely Bones from the 70s, but you've also gotten a lot of references. You also got the movie Matilda that came through. Cornfield, Brazil, Spain, Little Bitty Pretty One, the song, Top of the Chain by Gravity, Machu Picchu, Spiritual Retreat. There's a song that's coming through, but I can't figure out the name of it, and I don't know the lyrics that well, which is why I haven't figured out what song it is yet. But if I figure it out, I will let you know.
Yes. Okay. Wow, you guys have had like so many messages, and like it's just, yeah, you guys, very beautiful energy, like Bekah was saying. Okay, so we have some messages here. Again, you guys got some extra like the last group, but so don't tell the first 2 groups. But I took them because they flew out. And so yeah, let's get through them. These are messages from your ancestors. We have, take control of the situation. We know you can do this.
I figured out the song. It's I'm Gonna Show You Crazy by BB Rexa. That's the song that's popped in my head.
BB Rexa, cute. Be creative, look for ways to build, grow, and manifest. Number 36, and this is number 3. So we have fun and you must enjoy yourself too. Number 8. So you had that card about fun. So if you guys have been like all work and no play because you're busy taking care of other people, it's time to start having fun and taking care of yourself and asserting those boundaries that you've learned to build. We understand that sometimes you may feel. Number 12. Let the animals on earth support you, feel their unconditional love. Number 41. And then last but not least, you have make room for that happy ending. It's now within your grasp. Number 2. So that one was super soft. I was like, ooh, these last two flew out together, and I was like, okay, I'll take them. I was like, they already have 4, but sure.
You also got The Shining came through, and I'm gonna explain. It's not a bad thing. First of all, it's really close to Halloween, so like, you know, get your scary movie on, you know. But basically with The Shining, what that movie is about Stockholm syndrome. But it's about a writer who goes up to this hotel in Colorado, and they get snowed in for the winter because he's supposed to be taking care of the hotel, and he kind of goes like a little bit nuts because he gets Stockholm syndrome. um it's almost like basically what your guides are saying is like they want you to like get out more, so like maybe get some fresh air, take some walks. They don't want you to feel stuck basically, and the more that you're stuck in the same energy, the more you can feel stuck. Even just like clearing the air more, like clearing out like the energy, letting fresh air in as much as possible, could be really, really good for you. Another thing is like, because they're pointing out that that was a writer, getting outside and writing might be something that would be really beneficial for you, even if it's like writing a diary, even if it's like, I don't know, writing short stories, poetry. I don't know, you could write anything. You could write reviews, you could write children's books, you could, whatever it is, whatever you feel drawn to. You could even do like those like burn this after writing books that they have. Like you could go get one of those and like write in it. Um, and I mean, you're supposed to technically burn them after you write them, after you're done with them, but they have like prompts and stuff in there. So you could like write one of those. I don't know. Writing is really important for this group. It's come through a lot. And so is getting out, getting fresh air, and making sure you're not feeling stuck or shut in too much is kind of the vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed. Okay, so we have some here. These are just some messages from your ancestors, from the books, and from the movies that we base this reading on. We have Just Keep Calm and Carry On, Live Life from the Book of Life. Oh, no, sorry. It's because I missed. Never mind. Let me read this again. Sorry. It says, if you listen to the rhythm calling out in the dark, can you hear it? That's your spirit. Just follow your heart. So if you're feeling like dancing, if you're feeling like dancing frequently, just tune into the magic frequency. Live life like it's a song. Turn it on and sing along. It's all right if it goes wrong. Just keep calm and carry on. And this is from the song Live Life from the Book of Life.
I mentioned dancing.
Yep. And there we have our other one. We have Manolo's fear was never bullfighting. In that moment, Manolo conquered his greatest fear, being himself, which is from La Muerte from the Book of Life.
Yes.
So you guys have gotten everything from the Book of Life, so that could be a very important movie for you if you haven't seen it. And so here's some gifts or things that your ancestors might be sending you or helping you with. New baby. So we have mittens, bells, number 13, red apples, sailboats, ahoy, it's a boy, s'mores, rain, antelope. So for me, because you did get stuff about a potential new partner, like I'm not really getting like an infant again, like I said. I think new baby makes me think of like new pet or new, because you had that thing about animals giving you unconditional love. Or this is making me think of like, again, like a new project, like something that's your baby in that way. Like I'm not really getting like a the ahoy it's a boy almost makes me think that maybe the animal you're gonna get might be a boy. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Again, take it how it resonates. If you've been trying for a baby, you know, and you're, you know, happy, like, you know, happily married or just with a partner, you know, of course, take this as a confirmation for that. But I don't really feel like it's an actual physical baby, at least not right now. That's not what it feels like. And then we have new home / moving. That's awesome. We have blossoms, pine cones, cheetahs, maple, yam. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I meant to say yarn because I wrote swans, violins, and skates. So those could be signs that let you know that that's coming.
Some of those were mentioned in previous piles too. Like I know I
Mhm.
mentioned like scarves in pile 2, I think pile 1, pile 2. I don't know. So if you were drawn to any of the other piles, some of those are symbols that came out in the other piles as well.
Mhm. Yes, and like antelope came out in the previous pile. So like I was thinking that this one was gonna come out in the last pile. And the thing is that it flew out, but it flew out off camera. So if you watched pile 3 already and you were like, oh, I feel drawn to pile 4, you know that there was some confirmation from the last one in there and here. And in that group, I would say they're having a physical baby, but not so much in this group.
Yeah, pile 3 definitely was if you are having a baby, I would say definitely watch that pile.
Yes. I don't know why I was about to shuffle more animal cards for you. I'm a little bit out of it. Here we go. So we will do your stickers. Oh, I'm already dropping them.
That Top of the Chain song by Gravity is like literally so loud in my head right now. If you've never listened to it, please listen to it so that it'll be quieter.
I'll leave Bekah alone. Okay. So yes, if you guys have been feeling burnt out and not taking care of yourselves, this is your call out post that you need to see. This little pancake's crying. People have been taking too much from it. Little sad pancake.
Ooh, your ancestors might be craving pancakes because as soon as you brought that sticker out, I was like, wow, pancakes sound delicious.
Oh yeah, and you had maple on one of your cards, so maybe you need to eat some pancakes. That's how my mom says it, just so everyone's aware, because I don't know. Be the light. This makes me think of Light by BTS. Lights. Dream to do. So you had that stuff about trying to take actionable steps toward your dreams in those ancestor cards, and about like going for it. And so like if you have fears about that, like we were talking about being yourself, don't be, because you're going to be successful. Hello, honeymoon. So some of you may be tying the knot or meeting your person.
Cute.
We have Alexander Hamilton, which you've never watched Hamilton. I highly recommend. It's great. Hamilton was an interesting guy, but to me, he was someone with a lot of passion and ambition who came from a lot of struggle and learned to stand in his power and despite things. So this could be, like that musical could be very inspiring for you. Don't give up. Always reach for the stars. You have beauty comes from within. So if any of you struggle with like your beauty, again, being yourself, know that like it does come from within. Chip is my favorite character in this movie. Look at how cute he is. Yes. You have a little pink feather. So this is making me think of ancestors too. So like maybe they want to communicate more. I'm hearing them say that like even a cracked, like a chipped cup is still worth it and beautiful. So like if you feel like, oh, I'm so damaged, I don't deserve these things, Spirit is saying, no. Like you're not too damaged. You're not like, no, like don't take that at all. You are like beautiful and amazing and worth it. And just lovely, as Jimin would say. It's a beautiful day to save lives. So some of you, the tireless work that you do could be like a doctor or a nurse or again, a caretaker of some kind. Some of you might be in the healing arts and spiritual, like mental health professional. And that's just as important. Like, no, it's not like physically saving someone's body, but their mental health is just as important as their physical. And so is your spiritual health. So know that like you need to take care of yourself and that it's, that you do great work and help a lot of people with what you do. Mm-hmm. This heart again makes me think about giving love to yourself. Message in a bottle by the police is coming through. We might have some special news or messages incoming. We have a tiger. So that makes me think of that power, that ferociousness. We also have Aaron Burr. So this makes me think of like Aaron Burr is the foe to Alexander Hamilton, but they're really like two sides of the same coin. So for me, this is kind of like you again standing in that power, and you've worked your way away from this trauma And I think you found this balance within yourself, within that like really rational part of yourself that doesn't know how to have fun, and the more adventurous part of yourself, and like you're learning to balance that, and that's really helping you. Okay, and last but not least, you got January. I pulled months for everyone, but you got January twice in the stickers. So this is the one I shuffled out, and this one came out in the regular sticker toss that I did for this pile. So January is extremely important for this group, so I wanted to highlight it on its own. Mm-hmm. And then we have September and July. So with September, since it just passed, you could have started something or done something in September that is going to pay off really big, like maybe come January, or, you know, like within the next couple months, or again, it could be like new, like really big blessings coming in next September. And then of course, July, you know, coming around to next July, there might be some new beautiful developments for you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is everything.
Well, not quite, because they gave me more messages while you were talking.
Oh, well, here we go.
So the show Grey's Anatomy came through. So if you've never seen that, I highly recommend. Promise by Jimin from BTS came through when the Be the Light came out. Eye of the Tiger, I'm like a lawyer with the way I'm getting you off by Fall Out Boy came out. And then I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz.
Music, lots of references for you guys. Mm-hmm. So you guys have a ton going on. Very beautiful messages. Please just know that you guys have so many beautiful things coming your way. Keep going, even if it's really hard. I'm hearing that quote that like says like, I think it says something about speak even if it makes your voice shake. So like you guys really need to like learn to speak your truth and stand in that power and go with it, because it will pay off for you. And have a beautiful and safe Halloween and the rest of the year. And of course, I don't know why I'm rambling, but I guess your ancestors wanted you to know that. Anyway, I will let you go here. We will let you go. I want to thank your guides and ancestors and our guides and ancestors. It is always an honor to read for you guys. We love it. We always have so much fun. And we hope you join us next time. You can find us on pretty much any and every social media that will be linked below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the fun YouTube stuff. And we will see you next time. Adios, amigos.
Bye, friends.